Hello everybody, this is Ogre Boy, and I'm going to be doing my review for the 2012 movie Sinister. The movie is directed by Scott Derrickson and written by him and C. Robert Carville. And this movie follows a family who moves into this house that the previous people who lived there were murdered. And the father is like this paranormal investigator writer and everything, and he finds this old film projector and stuff in the attic, and he's going through the films and going through the history of this family that lived there before them, and them getting killed, and the links to this family's murder to different families that have been murdered and everything. And yeah, so that's pretty much the story of it. It has a lot of the paranormal stuff in it and everything. Stuff that I'm not really that crazy for. This isn't really my type of movie, just like Oculus wasn't the other night. But I do like that this is a little bit different than a lot of the paranormal movies, because this one is more of a kind of like The Ring. You could tell that it was inspired by The Ring, because it's more about the investigation into what is making all this stuff happen and everything. The ghost stuff don't really start happening until the third act and everything. But I have mixed feelings on this movie, because it has some great performances, especially by Ethan Hawke, who plays Ellison, the main character. I think he's great in this movie, and I think that Juliet Rylance, who plays his wife Tracy, is really great too. And the ones that play their kids are good in it, and the guy that played Eddie in It Chapter 2 is in here, and he was pretty good in it too. But the cast is all pretty good, and the cinematography in this is really good too. But this isn't one that I think I would want to rewatch very often. It was just really slow paced, and I found it to be pretty boring, to be honest. I didn't really enjoy it very much, but I like that it was inspired by The Ring, which is one of my favorite horror movies. I do like The Ring a lot and everything, and you can tell that this was inspired by it. I just felt like the rest of the movie wasn't executed very well. But this was an alright movie. It did rely a little bit too much on jump scares, and a lot of them were even false jump scares, which are even more annoying to me and everything. I don't mind a good jump scare if it's done right, but I just felt like the jump scares were not that great and everything. And Christopher Young's score is just so generic. It's like, it sounds exactly the same as most of the paranormal horror movies we get nowadays, or in the last few years. Like, it doesn't sound that much different than the scores for The Conjuring or Oculus or any of those movies and everything. So, I also like most of those type of movies. I don't like that this movie doesn't really feel like it has any stakes and everything. They try to make it feel like it towards the end of it and everything, and it does kind of have a dark ending, which I did like that, and it left me interested enough that eventually I will see Sinister 2. But I think that the third act was really the best part about this movie. Everything that I don't feel like it really paid off very well either, if that makes sense. Like, the third act was pretty good and everything, but the payoff, all the build-up from the first two acts just didn't really pay off to me. I just didn't enjoy it near as much as I was hoping for. I was kind of hoping that I would enjoy this movie a lot more than I did. I think it was an okay movie, and I don't think it was a great one or anything like that, but I think it was alright and everything. I am interested enough, though, that I probably will see Sinister 2 eventually. I don't have that one yet, but eventually, if I can find it at a pawn shop or something, pick it up pretty cheap, I'll end up grabbing it and giving it a shot. But yeah, I'd give Sinister a 6 out of 10, because it's not one of my most favorites. It's probably not one that I'm going to want to rewatch very much, if ever, and everything. It's kind of like Oculus. It was okay for a one-time watch, but I don't think I'd really want to rewatch it again. It's not one that I would consider a great horror movie or anything. I would recommend it to people who are into these kind of movies, though, because it does seem to be one of the better paranormal movies that I've seen. But like I said, it's also just partially because it's just not really what I'm into and everything. It's just not the type of movie that I'm into. And the main reason I even have this movie is because I got it in a pack that has Cabin in the Woods and everything. So I thought I'd just go ahead and give it a shot as one of my 31 Days of Horror movies, and I think it was okay. Like I said, it could have been a lot better, it could have been a lot worse, and everything, so I thought it was alright. So, anyway, let me know in the comments what you think of Sinister. Do you think it's really good, or are you like me, do you think it's just okay? Let me know in the comments what you think, and hope you enjoyed this video, and have a good day, everybody.
This is the song that